The blood rushed to my fingertips the day I realized life had quietly defeated me. I remember standing on the edge of a train platform, the metallic shriek of wheels echoing in the air, my worn shoes balanced dangerously close to the yellow line. I wasn't suicidal, not exactly, but for the first time in years, I understood why some men slipped silently into the arms of despair. My name is Victor, 32 years old, son of a factory worker who gave his lungs to machines and a mother who stitched clothes until her fingers cracked like dry wood. I was born into struggle, raised in scarcity, and molded by disappointments that came so frequently they felt like relatives at the dinner table. My story doesn't begin with triumph, it begins with ashes, with debts piling higher than my courage, with nights so long and hollow I swore I could hear my dreams suffocating in the dark. I was working 3 part-time jobs then, none of which brought dignity. By day, I scrubbed floors in a restaurant where businessmen left behind crumbs of wealth I could never touch. By evening, I carried boxes in a warehouse so loud with engines I couldn't hear myself think. And at night, I worked in a call center, my voice scripted, my smiles forced, selling things to people who never wanted to be called in the first place. Survival wasn't noble, it was exhausting. And yet, every night when I stumbled home to my tiny rented room, I stared at the ceiling and asked myself the same question, is this it? Is this all I was born for? I used to dream bigger. As a boy, I sketched cities in old notebooks, towers scraping clouds, bridges arching like ribbons across rivers. I wanted to be an architect, to leave behind something lasting, something that would outlive me. But poverty doesn't negotiate with dreams. When my father died coughing into his pillow, I dropped out of university to take care of my mother and younger brother. Responsibility swallowed me whole, and before I knew it, years had slipped like sand through my fingers. Dreams faded. Life hardened me. But one night, sitting on the cracked steps of my building, cigarette smoke curling into the cold air, I overheard 2 men arguing in the alley. Their words were sharp, angry, but then one of them said something that struck me like lightning, stop waiting for the world to hand you something. No one's coming to save you. Build it yourself. That sentence rooted itself deep inside me. It haunted me at work, it followed me into sleep, and it whispered every time I thought about quitting on myself. For the first time in years, I felt something stir inside me, not quite hope, but the faintest tremor of defiance. I decided then to change my life. It didn't happen overnight. In fact, it nearly broke me all over again. I had no money, no connections, no degree, and no idea where to begin. But I had one thing, anger. Anger at life for robbing my father. Anger at poverty for caging my family. Anger at myself for wasting time waiting for a miracle. That anger became fuel. I saved every penny, cutting meals, skipping comforts, and after 6 months, I bought a used laptop that wheezed every time it booted up. That was my first tool, my first weapon in the war against my circumstances. I started teaching myself online. Architecture was gone for me, but design wasn't. I studied graphic design late at night, fumbling through free tutorials, my eyes burning from exhaustion but my soul burning from hunger. I practiced endlessly, copying ads, recreating posters, making logos no one asked for. At first, my work was awful, embarrassingly bad. But little by little, I improved. Every failure was a brick, every rejection a nail, and slowly I was building something, even if I couldn't see it yet. The first time someone paid me, it was only $20, for a small flyer design, I cried. Not because of the money, but because it was the first time I was paid for my mind and not my body. That $20 felt heavier than all my paychecks combined. It was proof. Proof that I wasn't stuck forever. Proof that maybe, just maybe, I could carve my way out of the dirt. But success is never a straight line. For every small win, there were dozens of failures. Clients who ghosted me. Projects that drained weeks with no pay. Nights where I wanted to throw that laptop out the window and crawl back into the numbness of routine. And just when I felt I was gaining momentum, life tested me again. My mother fell ill, her body weakened from years of overwork. Hospital bills towered higher than I could climb. I sold my belongings, borrowed from friends, worked myself past exhaustion just to keep her alive. And in those nights, holding her trembling hand in that sterile hospital room, I realized something: success means nothing if you have no one to share it with. That thought became my compass. I worked harder, not for money, but for freedom. Freedom to take care of the people I loved. Freedom to build the life my father never had. I stopped chasing short wins and started building a brand, a name, a reputation. I invested in courses, found mentors online, and treated every client like they were my last. Slowly, my work spoke for me. Projects got bigger. Payments grew steadier. Within 3 years, I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. I moved my family into a small but beautiful apartment. My brother returned to school. My mother, though fragile, finally rested in comfort. And me? I stood taller. Not because I was rich, I wasn't yet, but because I had risen from nothing with nothing but grit. People started asking me how I did it. They wanted the secret. The truth? There was no secret. Just hunger. Just discipline. Just the refusal to quit even when quitting felt easier. Years later, I built my own design agency. Offices, employees, clients across the world. The boy who once scrubbed floors now designed brands that reached millions. The man who almost gave up on life now inspired others not to. But let me be clear, success didn't erase the scars. I still carried nights of hunger in my bones, still heard the cough of my father in my dreams. But those scars became reminders that pain can either chain you down or carve you into something unbreakable. Looking back now, I understand the deep message of my journey: life doesn't hand out fairness. It doesn't give equal beginnings. Some of us start at the bottom of pits so deep we can't see the sky. But even there, we can dig, claw, climb. And in that struggle, in that relentless refusal to stay buried, we discover who we really are. Success isn't measured by money or titles, it's measured by the weight of the chains we've broken to get there. If you're listening to this, maybe you're where I once was. Maybe you're standing on your own platform, wondering if life has already defeated you. Maybe you're carrying burdens that feel too heavy, dreams that feel too far. I won't lie to you, it won't be easy. It will hurt. It will take everything you have. But I promise you this: if you refuse to give up, if you fight for yourself even when the world laughs at you, there will come a day when you'll stand on the other side of your pain and realize you built wings out of your scars. Don't wait for the world to hand you something. No one is coming to save you. Build it yourself.